What would be the next topic that you'd like to go into?
Well, I had that.
I'm sorry.
What? No.
Are you going to bring up another player?
No. That's fine. We talked enough about Fred Warner and George Kittle. I had that moment in camp a couple of days ago, where I was broadcasting from the parking lot, doing an earnest job to tell people what happened in practice. And then some guy started parking his car behind me. And it was, I've worked so hard in camp, but this was by far the best thing I've produced, was videotaping a guy trying to back into a parking space and messing it up. So I thought it was interesting how life can be like that. You try so hard and you put, you're earnest. And the best thing that happens is something you were just lucky to stumble upon.
Could I say something about that?
Yeah.
I was watching the video. You're in the parking lot because there's no media room anymore. So you're doing the good and the not so good and other stuff in the parking lot. That's why he's out there. And I'm, obviously I watch all your stuff. So I'm watching, and over your right shoulder, I can't help but notice this white car is trying to pull into the space behind your right shoulder. Mm-hmm. Goes on the curb, comes forward, tries to do it, and goes on the curb again.
He's even bigger and stronger than last year. He looks like an all-pro. Strong safety Jaquiski Tartt. He broke up 2 passes from Jimmy Garoppolo during team drills and almost intercepted 1. Both passes were intended for slot receiver Trent Taylor over the middle. Tartt read Garoppolo's eyes and broke early both times. 2 great practices in a row for Tartt. More on Garoppolo later. Strong safety Jonathan Cyprien. He intercepted a pass from Nick Mullins during team drills.
I called your mother over and I said, what do you see in this video? And she stops looking at you and she's looking at the car and she says, this is phenomenal. So what happened was we're looking at our kid, but the car took the play away from you. And I have to say, your mom and I were just laughing.
I know. I love moments like that in life.
And people noticed it, right?
Viewers. Yeah. I think actually those are my favorite things. Like in history of the world, there are big moments and there are little moments. Yeah. And that was one of those. That's a little moment. You live for things like that. And I got a story for you. There's another little moment, and it happened today. And I don't know if it was as good as that, but it's a nice part too. So camp is over. I go to my car, and this time I'm parked on the other side, the side where the guy was parked that one time. The other side of the park. Okay, because there's some shade over there. And Shanahan's talking. I have the Zoom on my phone. I open up my laptop to get ready to start working, and the Wi-Fi doesn't work. I cannot connect to the internet. Usually I connect on a Wi-Fi on a hotspot through my cell phone, and it's easy. Not working today, and I'm starting to have a little mini panic attack. Like, the sweat's coming down, and you're trying to tell yourself it's okay, but then you're thinking like, I don't know how I'm going to do any work today, and you're going through I'm just losing it in the parking lot. I look to my left. It's the car. It's the car that was parking that one time. Right next to me. He's faced the other way so he can get right, because he backs in, because he doesn't waste time. He needs to get right the hell out of town when it's time. So he's sitting next to me, looking at me, noticing that I'm basically having a panic attack. It's just some guy smoking a cigarette. And he's looking at me like, man, that guy's crazy. I was like, no, I think you're crazy. So he got revenge. He got to see, I saw him at his worst trying to park that car. He saw me at my worst today. So salute, car guy.
And it was definitely the guy?
It was definitely the guy. Same car. Just an old guy smoking a cigarette in the shade in the afternoon. It's a spot.
Hey, Iggy, next time if he's there, I really think you ought to introduce yourself to him.
I will.
And you ought to tell him how famous you made him.
Yeah, I will. I
love that story. I love it. Hey, Iggy, you posted that as a separate, just for about 30 seconds, the guy parking?
Yeah, I posted it on Twitter. I did.
Didn't you get about 23,000 people look at it?
Yes, on Twitter. That was the biggest hit. I'm telling you, it's the biggest hit of anything I've done in training camp. I just can't control it. I wish I could choreograph things like that, but you can't.
Could I share a car moment?
Please.
Now, it's not the car. The car obviously is a metaphor. We're both English majors. The car is for the unexpected thing in life that sort of has a life of its own and a meaning of its own. In my book, which I want all of you to buy, and I don't think enough of you have bought it.
Buy the book.
Buy the book, Gloves Off. And the reason you should buy it, it will make me feel happy.
So anyway, you don't want my dad to be unhappy. Look at him. He's look at that face.
Yeah. So anyway, when Bill Walsh was dying, and this was 6 weeks before he died, Ira Miller and I went to his house, and this is in the book. And I said, I'm bringing Chardonnay, and I'm bringing sandwiches for everybody. Ira, me, and Bill, just 3 sandwiches. And we sit, it was actually kind of a cool day. He was living in Woodside, and we sat in his back patio. His wife was not home, and we drinking the wine. I remember getting that good feeling, you know, Iggy. Mm-hmm. And he took the mortadella. I remember that. Ira took, I think, the corned beef, and I took the big turkey. And okay. I'm eating at one point, and Bill, who was meticulous, he goes like this. Iggy, I didn't know what he was talking about. You know, I said, Bill, he goes, Lowell, you have mayonnaise on your lip. Yeah, he said, Lowell, you have mayonnaise on your lip. I said, oh, I'm sorry, Bill. So, you know, you wiped it. It happens, you know, when you did that thing about Jed York, you got mustard on your lip.
Yeah.
So, and I realized a couple of things. When you do that, from Bill's point of view, why are you saying you have mayonnaise on your lip? Right. It's a choice. Right. Is it because you look like a complete idiot with mayonnaise on your lip, or it's uncomfortable to talk to someone who has mayonnaise on his lip?
I think it's the second one.
I think it's, especially with Bill, I think that was it. And then as I thought about that, I mean, it's a nothing, except it's one of the last things Bill Walsh ever said to me in his whole life. So it was about a very little thing and a point between us, and it has taken on great significance. I even call that chapter Mayo on the Side. And it's what happened. But Bill went like that, just like, I'm offended, right? And he thought I'd get it from that, but I had to be told, and then I went like that. So I don't know if that's as good as the cars, but the mayo on the lip is another one of those little things which achieves meaning in your life.
No question. And it's funny how that moment was such a meaningful time for you. And one of the moments in that moment you remember the most is the mayo on your mouth.
Of the last time I saw him, the mayo on the mouth.
Yeah. That's a good story. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
Go buy your book.
I have to say, I enjoyed this very much. I'm sorry that you had a tough day with your computer today, but it seems to be working now. We both think it might have been the heat down there. It does screw up computers. Yeah. So have a nice day. Let's disconnect, and then I'm going to call you on the phone.
All right, Dad. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you.